Hi guys, in this video, I will be talking about the ICT breakup blocks, right? I know I've done a video on this before, and I think it was kind of vague. All right, so in this video, I'll be redefining the breakup block and simplifying it in the next maybe maximum of 10 minutes, right? So I want this video to be really short and straight to the point, right? But before I go into the teaching, I would like you to do how to click on the subscribe button if you haven't, and do how to like this video. Drop a comment where um you need. If you find something insightful, do how to drop a comment. And if you actually um, um having any question, do what to drop in the comment section, right? So now we're talking about the ICT breakup blocks, right? So that will be the topic of this video, redefining the ICT breakup blocks, right? So now when we're talking about ICT breakup blocks, it's actually a concept I've used and I've found out that it is a very profitable pattern that you can use this as your only trading model if you so wish, right? When it comes to the smart money space, one of the mistakes that so many traders make is that they try to learn everything, right? They try to know everything. They want to use this, they want to use mitigation, they want to use wake off, they want to use supply and demand, they want to use every single thing, right? So once I want to let you guys know that you can just choose to stick to 2 or 3 models, and that is your done with that, right? So the ICT breakup block is actually a trading model that if you stick to it, you can make a whole lot of money, right? Or you can see the consistency which you're looking for, right? Now, the breakout blocks, if you have if you're actually a private student of mine in my private mentorship, I've told you guys that we have the smart money mitigation candle, which is called the institutional candle, and then the breakout blocks, right? They actually look alike, right? It just depends on the context or where the market reacts off, right? Now, the breakout block is made up of 4 major parts, right? Usually in a bullish breakout block, you'll find the market make a swing high, swing low, a swing high, swing low. So it was basically a bearish breakout look like, right? Something like this. Now, in this, we'll be labeling this quickly. So we have about 5 points here. So we have point one at this point here. This point one. I think I need to take out the border. All right, so that's point one. We have point two, right? We have point three. Oh, okay. We have point three there. All right, so we have point three, and then we have point four. Now, why am I labeling this? So you can know what I'm talking about. Now, in the bearish breaker block, right, we have 4 parts, right? So I have point one. This is like we are assuming that this is a bullish market, right? And then you see the market break this swing low, causing what a bearish what break of structure. So you have your break of structure where market did what traded below this low. So that's your break of structure. The market came below this low, right? Let's make that red. Let's make a different color from that. All right. So this is a break of structure, right? So now the context behind this is that when smart money we are trying to take out these highs, right? We got into some buy positions somewhere around there. This is where the buy actually happened, somewhere at point two. So now they have taken out liquidity, taken out this high, then they have collapsed price back down. All right. So now there is actually a belief that these buy positions need to be mitigated because someone obviously bought this market somewhere around there, right? And maybe as price has gone against him, this buy is what in a loss, right? The entity needs to come and do what? Take price back to that level, do what? Mitigate his what buy positions and possibly add what more sales, right? So now point two becomes the area of what reference, right? So you're marking up point two, that's your area of reference. That's why you're looking out for what a breaker block to form. Why is it a breaker block? Because it broke this old high and then broke back downwards. So a breaker block typically does what? Takes out a high and then breaks through downwards. That is for a bearish breaker. All right. So that is just the concept behind this. Why the reverse is the case for a bullish breaker. So for a bullish breaker, you will see the market giving a kind of see a high, then all right. So it looks like, right? So the bullish breaker looks like. So you can see what I'm talking about here. So we remember that we have one. This is a point one, this is point two, this is point three, and this is point four. So remember this, we're just paying attention to what point two. That's what we're paying attention to point two. So that point two at this point here, that is where smart money does what? They sold this market, right? They take out what this low. So now the market has gone against them, or maybe some positions need to be indicated right here. So they need to take price back down to the breaker at this point there. So point two is actually the area of interest for what buy positions. So looking for a long inside there, and then finally what take price what higher. So once price hits that area, finally for what? Finally look for what bullish price action, right? Look for bullish what bullish price action. So this is the only point of trading in which I consider classic support and resistance. So a breaker block is typically a classic support or resistance level, but it has context with when I'm explaining it with a smart money perspective, right? You look at that those last um, push up but took out liquidity, those orders to be was mitigated. Right, that's basically what we're looking for in this price range. This is a bullish breaker at the right, and this is a bearish breaker at the left. Bearish because if it was bearish market, the take price was lower. Why did it taking to lower to take price was higher? Right, and don't forget that all this requires was higher time frame support. Not just you can be trading every single breaker and all of that. So let's go to Richard to look at for breaker blocks, right? So now this is a Richard. We had one on USD chip, right? So looking at USD chip, you can see that the price was trending higher because the market was relatively bullish, right? So now look at what happened there. So the market was bullish. The market came to liquidate this low here. So had a kind of liquidation around there. All right, so had a liquidation here. Markets came to liquidate all these lows at this point here. This run, and then what happened there? We saw the market take out liquidity and then break back upwards. So at this point here, we had was a bullish breaker. So we're looking at what the last up candle. Right, so the market goes it was somewhere around it. That's will be a bullish breaker somewhere inside there. And that was what price came off to those to continue going was higher. So look at the last push up. Right. The reason I'm highlighting this is because we can start the buy side from this lower week and then we want higher. If it's actually a candle, you can just highlight the candle. But since I can see wicks, so I'm highlighting from where I can see the last retracement. I can see the last retracement here, and then price pushed up. So I'm highlighting that whole down to up movement before the break to the upside. So the reason why it's a breaker is because why it took out what this low, and then this all these lows, and then do broke back up. And remember that we're in a bullish trend, right? So all this was just a liquidation. Right? So we had a bullish trend, and then the market came back to the breaker. And if you look at the lower time frame, then you can look at for what confirmations, right? I'm not going to discuss lower time frame confirmations because that is not the topic. I have a video on that. Let's go to my YouTube channel and look up for videos on what on that. All right. So that's a very classic breaker block, a very classic breaker block idea. All right. So I'm trying to look if I can find one more, and then we wrap up this video, right? So whatever happens upwards happens what downwards. It's a bearish market. You're looking for obviously what a reverse of the whole thing I have highlighted in this video. All right. So we had a kind of breaker here, although it did not hold so much. So we saw this last up move, right? Markets came back to it. So if I said this last up move, this last up move, that was just smart money goes involved for the sell. That was where the smart money goes involved. Why are you going down? So that's why smart money goes involved for the sell. All right, at this level here, so it's a breaker block level that high here. So can see how price came back there, kind of played around it a bit, and then took out this high again. So if you are a buyer at this breaker block, you are getting maybe a lower type of entry at this breaker block. Remember, the is not one candle. Looking at the last push up before what that break, right? So it's not actually one candle. So between here and here would have been your breaker block, right? So since my rectangle is not working fine, you just use the line, right? So that was a breaker block there. So you can see how price came off it within a bit. So those the open of the candle somewhere around there. So the market was inside that breaker, respected it. We had a kind of lower time frame break and then do what? If you are buying down there, the target would have been was this high. Take out this high. That was what happened. Market took out that high. So you bought somewhere down here, have been a beautiful setup. Take out that high. All right. So that is how breakers appear on the chart. You want to see that stop run and then price coming back to to take out where you are anticipating. All right. You can see yet another one here. We had this breaker here. So this last up candle before that liquidity sweep, right? So you can see how markets came into that last up candle, kind of could not go higher, kind of played around it a bit, and definitely was broke up, right? So I'm sorry, I'm looking if I'm seeing any bullish examples. Let me see if I can see something for the bearish side. I've only been highlighting bullish breakers. Let's see if we can find something for the bearish side. Let's just go to GJ. Okay, if you can find something on GJ for a bearish breaker, because I've just been highlighting bullish breakers. So that's how to balance this video so you guys can flow with it, right? Let's see if we can find any bearish breaker on this chart. All right, so I can see one very clearly here. So you can see breaker right here. What happened there? You can see the market actually did what I said it would do. Look at this. Market was trending upwards, took out stops, and then broke below, right? So this was that last, this point here. Here, this was that level in which price gave that last push down. So around there was a breaker level. So remember the last push up before the liquidity sweep is the liquidity sweep that qualifies it. You want to see market take out a high before breaking to the opposite direction. So the market only got to go somewhere around there. That was where you can see the last push down, and the market took out this and then broke. So the market came back to the breaker block, came here, stabbed through, and then finally fell down to do what? To take out of this swing low right here. So this was a very beautiful breaker block idea. Right. So you can see market if you sold right here, you know, maybe had to endure this consolidation maybe, and the market finally was dropped and it tanked towards this level, right? So I hope you find this video insightful. If you find it helpful, do want to drop a comment or like, subscribe. So see you guys in the next video. Have a wonderful trading week. Cheers.